Okay, and we'll go ahead and call this regular meeting of the Beta City Council to order Monday, June 12th, 2021, 6:02 p.m. Can we get a roll call, please?
Brian Hanson,
Here.
Jason Sampson,
Here.
Dave Nielsen,
Here.
Sandy Eric, here, Luke Spence,
Here.
Barb Mitten, here.
And the room audio is not working, so if council can speak very clearly, the owl has to pick it up for people online to be able to hear us tonight. And for Karen's recording and whatnot, so
And go slow, cause
yeah, she'll appreciate
I'm
it.
doing everything tonight by myself, so.
She'll appreciate it if we speak so the owl can pick us up well, so. And Marlos will probably let us know if we're all doing a bad job of that, so she's watching through the link. So with that, we have the approved agenda first, except we would look to the motion to approve the agenda with the exception of item 7A.
I'll move to approve the agenda omitting 7A.
Second. Okay, motion Brian, second Barb, any discussion? Seeing none, council please vote. That is approved, takes us to the consent agenda. Any item need to be removed for separate consideration?
Move to approve.
Second. Jason and Dane, any discussion on consent agenda? Seeing none, council please vote. That is approved. Let's see. Which takes us down to the public forum, which is time set aside for comments from the public on topics of city business other than those listed on the agenda. No action may be taken. Do we have anyone here to speak in the public forum? Seeing none, we will close the public forum with the old business 6A. It is resolution number 1, 2021-2022. Resolution approving development agreement with M&R Properties Iowa LLC, authorizing annual appropriation tax increment payments and pledging certain tax increment revenues to the payment of the agreement. So moved.
Second.
Brian, Sandy, discussion? Seeing none, council please vote. I think that is approved. Takes us to item B, ordinance number 1018, 2021, 2022, an ordinance amending chapter 15 and 17, mayor and council compensation, third and final reading. And is the year in there correctly, or is it supposed to be 2020, 2021 with the number? So it changes the year, because it just says 1018, which is last year's number.
Yeah, we're on a new fiscal.
Okay, just making sure.
Move to approve. Second.
Jason Dane, any discussion? Seeing none, council please vote.
But the resolution's changed, but not.
Okay, that moves to old business. And I thought, did it pass here? I wasn't paying attention.
Pardon me?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't see the photo. Okay, old business C, discussion
I'm
appropriate
sorry.
follow up the nuisance property at 536 4th Avenue. So that is regarding the previous hearing that we had, so we're looking, I believe, for an update this evening. Is that correct for Mr. McRae?
Yeah, so what we have this evening, if you guys will recall, it was a resolution 60-ish days ago, that Mr. McVeigh was to get a certified architect report and a fire restoration report, and then provide a detailed plan to the council of what he would do to get that property out of nuisance status. And so, Ray, I don't know if you wanted to report on your thoughts. We did receive reports.
Okay.
Thank you for providing those.
Okay.
And I know that Ray has reviewed those and had some thoughts on how to move forward.
Good evening, council. I talked to the city administrator a little bit about just some benchmarks, and I think he's well on task with needs to take place. I would accept both reports, the architect's report and the fire restoration report, the soda blasting where required, and then also the removal of the Romex throughout the facility from the first floor up. But I think the recommendations are pretty consistent with restoration of the fire of this degree.
So at this point, for proceeding forward,
I think it would be helpful, if you have some thoughts on the timeline that you think it will take to complete the project.
I am well versed on the concept of the 1 year. And what I'm trying to do right now, the meter base that the electricity comes from the power pole and then into the house, those are back ordered till October or November. So I can't get electricity to the house yet without that meter base attached. So I'm waiting for my electrician to come up with a solution for that to get power to the property in which to proceed. The timeline of a year, if we have to compress our time, I'm working 60 hours a week, more or less right now, in a construction business. And in October, November, that slows way down and that will open up my schedule substantially. So I see accelerating from October through the winter time, the winter months when most construction companies are twiddling their thumbs. I've got an entire crew that's willing to help me from my work to accelerate that as well. So I want to get it done and get it off your books and occupied as soon as possible.
So, Todd, if we give you a year from like August 1st, say,
It will be done.
that's what I'm saying, is that fair?
That's
Do you
absolutely
think
fair.
that's doable?
As I've discussed before, the reality is the time frame, and I have no problem putting in a 10-hour, 15-hour day to get the work done.
Yeah, I don't care how many hours a day you work, I was just asking.
Okay,
for the-
yeah, that will be no trouble at all. Highly acceptable.
What, I'm just throwing it out there, I didn't, you said a year, I didn't know what anyone else was thinking.
I think the year timeframe was, it was in the report, so I
Yeah.
think that's probably where you were coming up with that. I just want the council, that's a decision for the council, to determine, obviously we want to work with you as a property owner.
Sure.
And you've made good faith attempts to get the reports that the council had required, and so moving forward, then the council can make a motion, to give a timeline to have the property brought into compliance with our code in accordance with the reports that were submitted.
Cause that really gives them 9-10 months in reality, I would say.
So,
Now, I'm sorry, do we get all this report and everything and have a formal in writing agreement with Todd that he's gonna follow the report? I mean, not to say, yeah, we're gonna follow it, do we have like an agreement with the city that they'll have to enter into an agreement that he'll follow the rules and reports and?
So I wouldn't envision it being an agreement because you already have ordinances that require this.
Okay.
So what I would envision is tonight, if you guys want to make a motion, then we can put together an order and have that on the consent agenda for the next meeting with whatever timeline or other stipulations that the council wants to see. And then it'd be an order from the council similar to the previous resolution order.
I was just more concerned, not that he's disagreeing with it, but to follow the letter of the law, so to speak, of this reports that we have from those independent guys. I don't know if our ordinances cover that specifically, that's why I was asking. It can be an addendum to the, whatever, I don't know, that's kind of usual, I'm just asking.
I've spoken with Bruce, the runner, and he's told both Ray and I that he'd be happy to let us know anytime he's going in and doing an inspection, excuse me. So I would just ask that we put that into the agreement, or you guys mentioned that we just coordinate with Mr. Runner here so we can check and inspect while he's improving the house.
I think from my perspective, the soda splash would be one area that we would want to see happen. And then obviously the various construction stuff our building person could facilitate.
Trying to figure out how we wanna put this.
So probably would it be a motion to direct our legal attorney to draft a order consistent with discussion and the written reports?
Yeah, I think it'd be simple as that. Yep, as long as you guys give me direction, then we can put that back on for the next agenda.
I'm just trying to think of what that, is there anything that says in any of those reports about inspection times though?
I think that's part of it, that's why I said consistent with discussion, because she's taking notes of what you guys are asking.
And so, I don't know, was this email from Ray? I don't know if this was in your packet, but Ray kind of set out the steps in which he would want the city to be involved, so I do have that.
Okay. I'll move to, for our legal to create an order in regards to our discussion today, including the steps that fire chief indicated on his email.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion by Jason, second by Dan, further discussion?
What do we do in a year? Well, hopefully within a year.
Yeah, I mean, if,
What it is. I'll revisit it.
Could,
yeah, you
could
could
you
just
set
revisit it, but
the
we-
start time of that? I think you were talking like August 1st to, next year would be the full year.
To put a date, he wants to know if we're gonna put a date in there. So
I
yeah,
heard 1 year from you guys, is
Yeah.
that consistent with what you want to get?
Yeah.
Starting
1 year from August,
from August 1st.
August
So-
1st of 2022. Completion date.
To answer your question, Luke, I mean, we would revisit it in a year. I think there'll be compliance checkpoints throughout that with city staff. But we revisit it in a year to see if it's no longer a nuisance and meets the code. If it doesn't, you can either move forward with having another hearing and there can be additional nuisances that need to be repaired, or you can move forward with municipal infraction, litigation, something like that. We've got plenty of other steps, but right now we've got a property owner that's willing to work for it, so it's good. It's a good place to start.
We be able to get, like, whenever there's major inspections are done, we get like an email with updates that sometimes, so it's, we're not just finding everything out in a year. We just kind of keep us abreast of it.
So you basically skip staff as they work through their checkpoints to update council.
That'd be great. Appreciate it.
Okay, we're getting thumbs up. Okay. Any other discussion? Seeing none, council please vote. Okay, that is approved. Takes us to business D, approved pay request number 13 for Central Business District Infrastructure Project from Construct Incorporated, amount of $456,850.25.
Move to approve.
Second.
Jason and Barb, any discussion? Seeing none, council please vote. Okay, that is approved. Takes us to business E, approved pay request number 1 for wastewater treatment facility improvements, phase 2 from Williams Brothers Construction Incorporated, in the amount of $2,179,438.08.
Move to approve.
Second.
Luke and Sandy, discussion. Seeing none, council please vote. Okay, that is approved. Takes us to new business, and we'll go to new business B, approved new fiscal year 2021-2022 retail cigarette tobacco permit for Hy-Vee Incorporated DBA Hy-Vee Dollar Fresh.
Move to approve. Second.
Jane, Jason, discussion. Seeing none, council please vote. That is approved. Takes us to new business C, approved new class E liquor license, LE and Sunday sales for Hy-Vee Incorporated DBA Hy-Vee Dollar Fresh, 622 Fawcett Parkway, effective August 10th, 2021.
Move to approve.
Second.
Dane and Luke, discussion. Seeing none, council please vote. Okay, that's approved. Takes us to report starting with city administrator.
Other than my report, I don't have much to say aside from, I'd like to introduce our new building and zoning official at the back. Ryan, if you'd like to raise your hand. So excited that Ryan started today for planning and zoning, so we're going to be learning a lot over the next few months so we can get him trained, and he's going to be taking a lot of classes, so he will be hitting the ground running.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay, so moving on to reports, a few different items. I don't even know where to start with. So the field house is doing, so the foundation's doing some capital campaign work this week at the senior center. We would love if council could take a couple shifts. The goal is for each person on the foundation board is trying to get 10 of their network to come in to learn about the project and or pledge. So if any of you are willing and able to also do the same, I can get you connected and hooked up to do that. It's this week, 2 to 7, Monday through Thursday, and then 2 to 5 on Friday. So if any of those times work and you're interested in helping out, the more the better to do this next push here. So trying to do those types of visits, because people respond better when they're asked directly by their friends. And then we'll start pushing out where people can just download forms and print them off and do it. But you get a better response with direct asks, obviously, as we all know. So if you're able to do that this week, see me after and we'll get you set up. Then Main Street NBDC had an annual dinner a couple of weeks ago, which was great to see gatherings full again and had a really good enthusiastic turnout and lots of positive energy there. The community coffee, same thing, about double from last month. So it's still a fairly small group, but we had a lot more people this time and some new people that we hadn't met before. So I think that's gaining some momentum and continues to be good outlets. So if any of you are available next month and want to plan that date, let me know, and then we'll get you on the schedule. But we can always finalize that too at the next meeting, but keep that on your radar for the second Saturday again. We had a meeting this morning with Supervisor Heddens about the federal American Rescue Plan stimulus funds and what the county's doing, and they're trying to learn what the cities are doing. So it was a good meeting to kind of collaborate countywide. Then the Vision 2040 got the focus, the steering committee back together last week, and we'll be doing so again next month. And then otherwise, the 21st, Brian's agreed to give the official welcome to the National Softball Tournament at Sport Park on behalf of the city, because it's unusual that both Barb and I are going at the same time. So Brian gets to do that, which also there's an Story County Emergency Management meeting that evening. So if any other council member would like to attend that, let me know, and you can represent the city of Nevada at the Story County Emergency Management that night on the 21st. It's just like the county building. 7, I think. So I don't know if you're gonna be back. Okay, you wanna do it then? Okay,
I'm gonna be there anyway, Barbara, playing.
What?
Peyton's playing, so
Oh,
I'm gonna be there
oh,
anyway.
good.
It was an easy ask.
yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm gonna ask Brian, because he likes softball.
So what's the date?
The 21st at 7 is the emergency management. Okay, got Barb for that. Okay, I think that's all I had to report. Any questions for me? Okay, council reports.
Story County Opioid Task Force met again, meeting for the first time in person next month. Got a lot going on, just a lot of collaboration on what's going on among the different organizations.
That'd be good to revisit. I know there's been a lot of concern about some of the abuse issues escalating during COVID, so definitely good to get some of them back.
Abuse, mental health, all of that.
Sure. We did get a sponsorship. Mid-States Fabrication will be sponsoring Lincoln Highway Days. So that is very exciting. They are taking the top sponsorship of $5,000. So that was great news for them to do that. What else?
We're just looking for more.
we're looking for more, so if you wanna sponsor, donate, be a part of, reach out to Jason or me or Brett or Steve Skaggs, John Augustus, Lisa Oxley. Did I get anybody? Henry Corbin at Main Street.
So LincolnHighwayDays.org, there's a new domain for the festival. The website's up. They're looking for groups to take different events, sponsorships, vendors. So it'll be a craft fair / farmer's market. So any of those vendors that you know that like to do those types of things, send them to the website, get them signed up.
We will have shuttles again. We got that knocked down today, so possibly some late night shuttle too.
I mean, I think there will be more events associated with Lincoln Highway Days than we've seen in over 10 years. So it should be a good year for the festival.
We're looking for folks that might be willing to help out with the teen dance. We're trying to put on a teen dance, so if there's anybody out there that's willing to volunteer their time for that and kind of take the lead on that, we'd be more than welcome to help them through that. But right now, we don't have anybody willing to pull on the reins on that one yet.
Which night?
That's up in the air too. It could be a Friday night.
It might be good on Fridays, so it doesn't flip
That's
to
kind of
Friday.
what we're thinking. Friday night. So yeah, it doesn't conflict with your deal. So. Are you offering?
We can talk. I need to not take up too much right now, given the dynamic of my household, however, we could probably talk. The Lincoln Highway Dash will be on Saturday morning again this year. Excited to have this be the 9th year for that, and kind of on a semi-related note, it's always fun throwing money to civic organizations in Runners United Nevada. Right before this meeting, we have a check to Food at First for over $2,000, a check to the Foundation for the Field House, about $2,200, and a check to the Foundation for the Pandemic Relief Fund of either $1,100 or $1,500. So we're starting to be able to get back some of that money from the races, and that's pretty cool. The American Legion is probably going to get over $4,000 from the Freedom Run. So really, really cool to be on that end of the financial picture. So it's great to be involved with something that is raising money around fitness and then giving it back to the community. So yeah, real excited about that.
Any other council reports? And we'll go to staff, back to Public Works and Training.
Good evening, everybody. The street department's been busy working on intakes, vacuuming intakes, and replacing the bad ones. They've been reshaping a ditch out by Adams Cyclone, so some of you've seen that, but getting that to drain a little bit better out there. And been doing some more concrete patching and working on a lot of locates. Metronet's taking up a lot of our time doing locates. Hopefully they'll get wrapped up here pretty quick. The water department, Sean's been busy by himself. We're all helping him when we can with what he needs, but he's been busy with meter reading, keeping the plant running, main breaks. Had 3 main breaks the other day down by Brian's house, and we got them done. Just staying busy there. And the wastewater plant, they're starting recruiting for the position to replace Jason. And Mark sent some letters to some certified operators that he knows, trying to get them to come and renewed the pollution discharge elimination system permit, boiler inspection, and it passed. Just daily operations. That's all I got.
Jeremy?
Any questions?
Jeremy, you mentioned a lot of turnover lately, whether moving back and forth or just people leaving. Is that cause for concern at all?
We had 2 people leave because of the wages.
We do exit interviews for people who leave, not just lately, but overall.
Typically, we do if they want to do an exit. interview. There are some people in the past that did not want to do them, but yes, we do typically offer them.
So you offer that to them.
We do.
Two people left, they didn't get raises through the wage study. You know, and one of them, they both took promotions, of course. I mean, I would have did it, you know, if I was, you know, offered it, but, you know, I think Eric's getting to run his own, you know, own plan. And, you know, Ty got a raise plus, he only has to work every 9th weekend because, you know, it's a bigger city, more people, you know. But, you know, it's bottom line.
It seems like we've had a batch in multiple departments. moving around or taking away this.
Well, Jason moved, you know, again, Jason promoted into what he's always, you know, something that he's always gonna get, work in country landscapes, you know, like being outside, like, you know, multiple things to do. You know, didn't wanna be stuck in, you know, some people can't be stuck in a building, some people can do outside. I think Jason's one of them. And, you know, when he took the job at the city, you know, he wanted to get his foot in the door. Might not have been the perfect job, but you gotta get your foot in the door, be honest. And, you know, Joe promoted, Joe interviewed for the job when I got the job. You know, Joe's been wanting to, you know, advance, better himself. But, so half of the positions have been because they want to better, well, they all been because they want to better themselves. You know, but 2 of them were because they didn't get a raise. You know, and one of them told me last contract, you know, he wasn't too upset about not getting a raise, but last contract, the water department got a big raise and nobody else did. You know. So, money, it drives everything.
Thanks. Ray with Fire EMS.
Just a couple of things, the nuisance property at 102K, the owner has reached out to us and expressed a desire to turn the property over to the city. It's now in the hands of the attorney. But the vehicles, the yard nuisance, a lot of that stuff has been taken care of. Street department, park and rec have done the heavy lifting on removing tree branches and mowing and stuff like that. So the neighbors are seeing some progress and they're happy about that. We just started a new process on 1830 2nd Street. The owners live across the street and they are communicating with the city about assistance in tearing that property down. It's a dilapidated house that they bought just because there were some folks who were moving in that they really didn't care for that would bring criminal activity. So they just bought the house and have never done anything with it. So, but they have expressed a desire to have that house removed as well. So I've been working with Jordan on communicating the city's position. And so they've been very receptive to how they're being treated.
Is that the farthest north?
Yeah.
House on the corner.
Yeah, it's on the corner. There's a white pickup that is sitting there. It actually belongs, the people that live across the street own the property.
In the west block on T.
Correct, yeah, right at S and Second on the west side there. So it's a big lot, it's a huge lot, it's a double lot, so, so they're working, they just, the issue with them is they can't throw 10,000 down to get rid of a house. And so, they're gonna be coming forward with a request to have some assistance, so that's where the city administrator can communicate the city's position on that, so. But the dialogue has been, they've been very good to work with, so. And then just a couple of things on the horizon so that you have visibility. The Firefighters Association received a $500 Memorial Lutheran grant geared towards our senior folks in our community. So we're going to be purchasing tub and shower anti-slip treads that will be given away free to anybody over the age of 60 that they could put in their tub and shower. That falls are our #1 call. So we're hoping to reduce that that community risk reduction is kind of the avenue that we really want to pursue. And then for Lincoln Highway Days, we're working on a plan to try and bring water fights back. So we'll keep you posted. So that's all I have.
Got a nice new downtown street to do it.
Well, you give us the location, I'm sure we can, we've got a newly promoted lieutenant that brought it up and wants to take charge on it, so we're gonna let him do that. They'll be reaching out to like Van Wall for some tractors for anchors, and I've directed him to Sergeant Brandis to kind of start the process, but I think it'll be pretty exciting.
Splash with your high pressure gun.
I don't know that we'll use that. We want nobody to get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Rick.
Planning and zoning, any updates from Mr. Hutton from your first day?
You gotta take the photo.
Are you coming back for a second day?
We're back right away. I'm Ryan, this is my first day, so obviously no huge updates from you guys or for you guys, but I just want to take a moment to say thank you. I left the police department for a little bit, taking a job in Indianola. This opportunity came back, and the opportunity to grow with this community and work for the city was a great honor and a privilege. So thank you guys very much, and I look forward to seeing you guys more often. So, have a good evening.
Wait a minute, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I give up that easy, you know.
Right.
Obviously, this is something new for you. What do you think timeline wise will it take for you to really rev it up and roll?
I think it'll be roughly about a year. So the classes that I've been looking at and taking aren't for a couple more months. As far as registering for resources and stuff like that, I got registered with the ICC and a couple other ones to start getting emails and branching out through Indianola and a couple other places around this area to start reaching out for resources, like I said. So, yeah, not too bad on the first day.
Thanks, Ron.
Yeah.
Glad to have you back.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Full time.
Yeah. Still a part-time officer though, so
Yeah.
that's all right.
We'll put up with it.
Park and Rec.
Outside of my report that was in your packet, I don't have a whole lot to add, other than we're gonna spend a lot of time getting ready for the national tournament next week, and working on some news and stuff, so any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Perfect. Thanks. Sergeant Brandis.
As far as the police department, I know Director Martinez gave a report. As far as the staffing, that we don't have an update right now. We're still optimistic, but we don't have any finals yet. Our recruiting academy has about a month left before he's back here, and we'll put him through our field training process. And we're eagerly awaiting Josie Bailey to return home. And don't have a solid timeline, but it should be in the near future. There was other comments about the fireworks and the traffic. Obviously, 4th of July is over, so we're not hearing those now. And then the traffic, I haven't heard as many complaints since the new blockages have come in. So, answer any questions you guys have.
Right? How many candidates do we have? Solid candidates?
We still have 3 positions to fill. We have 3 candidates still in the running. Like I said, we're optimistic, but we don't have anything finalized.
Cool.
All right.
Nice that we got 3.
What's that?
That's great that we still have 3.
Yes, yes it is.
Karen.
Not much to add, I have you on my report, just gearing up for the end of the year reports and another audit coming soon, both of those, have this stuff done, but yeah. Just really for the end of the year stuff and what we're doing, beginning of the year, so.
Awesome. For Karen. Did see Mike Roth joined us online. Mike, do you have any updates?
No, nothing major. Apologize for joining late. I was tied up in another council meeting. The wastewater plant project is moving along. Quite a bit of work is starting out there this week and last, so we're expecting quite a bit of activity to be ongoing. And that's all I've got.
Thank you, Mike. Aaron,
Nothing for me this evening.
so council, anything else before we adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Dane and Jason, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. You're adjourned, thank you.